Hi everyone, welcome to Management 650. Today we are looking at probability and it's week 5. My name is Helen and I'm going to show you how to solve MYSTATLAB question 6. MYSTATLAB question 6 is taken from problem 8 in chapter 7. So here's our problem. Multi-generational families can be categorized as having 2 adult generations, such as parents living with adult children, skip generation families, such as grandparents living with grandchildren, and 3 or more generations living in the same household. A survey was conducted on multi-generational households. The reported results appear in the accompanying table. Let's take a look at our table here. We see along the top horizontal row that we have our types of multi-generational households that we just discussed. And along the left vertical column, we have different types of races: white, Hispanic, Black, and Asian. Over in this lowest right-hand cell, we have our total number of multi-generational households that were surveyed. And we know that all the numbers above this cell add up to 1,438, and all the cells, the variables in the cells to the left of the cell add up to 1,438. So we're asked, what is the probability that a multi-generational family is Hispanic? So let's take a look at our table. We go to the Hispanic race and we go all the way over to our farthest right-hand cell, which is 292. We know that 292 of the 1,438 households that were surveyed identified as Hispanic. So to find the probability, we're going to go equal 292 divided by 1,438, press enter. And we find that the probability that a multi-generational family identified as Hispanic is 0.203. Next, we're asked, what is the probability that a multi-generational family selected at random is 1 Black and 2 adult generation family? So now we have 2 traits. Before we had 1 trait. We were looking for multi-generational families that identified as Hispanic. Now we have 2 traits. The family identifies as Black and also identifies as a 2 adult generation family. So let's go to the Black race here, and let's also go to the 2 adult generation multi-generational household. And where the cell where those 2, the column and the row intersect, is 114. So 114 of the multi-generational households that were surveyed identified as Black and having 2 adult generations living in the household. So we press equal 114 divided by 1,438, press enter. And we find that the probability that a household identifies as Black and contains 2 adult generations living in the household is 0.079. Next, we asked, what type of probability did you find in part A? Again, as we discussed, 1 event occurred. 1 trait was identified. We identified the probability that a multi-generational family identified as Hispanic. This is known as a marginal probability, 1 trait or 1 event. We locate these numbers when we're looking at the table along the farthest right-hand column, with the exception, of course, of our total, or the lowest horizontal row with, of course, the exception of the total. So that's where we're going to find our numbers that will allow us to calculate our marginal probability. Next, we're asked, what type of probability did you find in Part B? In Part B, remember that two events occurred, or two traits were identified. One, the multi-generational household identified as Black, and two, it identified that two adult generations were living in that household. So we have two traits or two events, and that is called a joint probability. And if you're looking for the variables that will help you calculate a joint probability, you're going to look in the center of your table, and I've actually shaded those variables yellow. So that's all there is to it. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact your tutors or your professors. We are here to help you.